Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Spaced Out Podcast, the Axtronautl podcast that is the podcast.
We're on a podcast.
And we speak into the mic, and we speak into it loudly, and don't mumble.
What are we talking about?
We just got done with an epic live stream, everyone.
Yes, we did.
We did our 1-year anniversary pizza party stream. It was sick. We went on for 6 hours, and we had lots of people join.
Yeah.
It was an epic time.
We did a lot of collaboration with chat to like play games.
We did Jackbox games. We did some Jackbox. We did some Mario Kart for a little bit and invited the viewers to play, and it was a horrible idea. Because apparently our viewers are like the try-hardiest Mario Kart players that ever played.
Yeah, no, they were super good at fucking Mario Kart. It was actually crazy.
Yeah, they were like a 150cc with like, and just going hard. They were fucking wrecking us. It was painful, but it's on the stream, and you can go back and watch that. The VOD should be up. And you can go and watch the stream if you didn't make it. And it's okay if you didn't make it.
Yeah. No, that's fine. They're good, fam.
Then we played some Smash Brothers. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
We had some fairly even matches with the viewers.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. And
super fun.
We had lots of fun. Cool. And it was a great time.
And it's crazy to think that we've been doing this for about a year.
Oh, yeah. It's fucking crazy. It won't look like it unless we unprivate the old videos, though. We have I guess we were gonna watch an old video on the stream. I just realized we didn't do that.
Oops.
I'll like ping everybody or like ping some of the people that asked and be like, yo, since we didn't watch, here's just the old video. I'll do that here after this is over. For it. But we'll like unprivate them here, and you get to see all the old cringe shit.
Yeah, all of our Pokemon stuff that we kept doing.
It was so bad.
It was terrible.
But everybody wants to see it because they're like, oh, it can't be that bad.
Oh yeah. Oh, whoopsie. Oh yes, it can. It can be bad.
It was shit.
Absolutely terrible.
So now you can watch it, and it proves that we've been here for a year.
Yeah. And
making epic videos. And that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
And crazy. And we're at 7,000 subscribers. It's pretty
cool.
7,000.
Yeah. It's honestly, it's
pretty wild.
It's weird to think that we've come so far.
Yeah, it's very weird because like I think the first half of our existence on YouTube was like struggling to get 100.
Oh yeah,
and then it just took off.
We were just looking to get whatever we could from anything, really.
So it's crazy we've come this far. So we thank everybody for helping us get this far and to many more episodes on the channel.
We thank the OGs and the people who've stayed with us. And
if you're still out there.
And hell, if they are, that'd be cool.
If you're still there, we are still uploading and making stuff, and we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
It's crazy to hearing people being like, "Oh, I was here before the FNAF stuff and stuff like that."
Yeah, it is fun.
So that's pretty epic.
We get a comment like that every now and again, and it's always a little. It brings a little light to my day.
Yeah, right.
It's like, aw, that's sweet to hear.
It feels nice and special.
Especially because like there's just so many like wholesome people in our community that are just like, yeah, I just like watching you guys for your like personalities and like just vibing with you. And that's something that I wouldn't. Did you say weird?
Yeah. Why would they enjoy our personalities?
Yeah, we don't have any. Sold mine for 2 pennies.
But it means a lot, though, for sure.
No, it does. Thank you, guys.
It means so much, and it's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Pizza. What'd you say?
Pizza.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't like pizza?
We will never ever talk about that again on our channel.
What's the pepperoni? Pepperoni pizza?
No, we will not be talking about that any longer. The era is over.
Crusts? No more pizza?
The pizza era is gone. No more.
No more pizza? But what will replace pizza?
I don't know yet.
Pizza's forever.
We were
Pizza's
just
life.
starting to get sick of it. This it'll be interesting though, because this will come out like probably in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So it'll just be like we're out of nowhere. Oh yeah, we did a pizza party stream.
Anyway, fuck pizza. We're never saying that word again.
Yeah, right. We just like started getting sick of it. It was just a bit that gone too far.
We didn't think it'd catch like it did.
And
Or
it
at least I
did.
didn't.
It did, and it was weird. And for the first while, it was pretty funny. And then we realized, wow, our whole channel is just joking about pizza. We're so lame.
Yeah, no, it was. We realized just how unoriginal and just kind of boring. So we're looking to do better jokes, like jokes on methamphetamine, 9/11, Bill Cosby, Joe Biden.
Or the Jews that stole the moon.
Yeah, all that original content. That's
stuff that people
original. Enjoy. The stuff that people enjoy.
We gotta give them what they want.
You gotta give to get, and the people, they want Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Specifically Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, no.
That's fair.
I think our last
just because Joe
like
Biden is funny.
That's true.
He's just a funny, silly old man.
He's pretty funny. Joe Biden. Obama.
Soda!
I just knew it was coming.
Ice cream!
So, yeah. Anyhow.
Anyway, sorry.
I'm unprivating all the old stuff right now.
Wow.
Do we do the American Truck Sim one too?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, it's good.
Is it good though?
Yeah. I think that's one of the best, least cringiest things that we've posted in the past.
That's fair, I suppose.
I quite liked the Truck Sim episode.
It's the Pokemon Violet ones that are pretty.
Actually, funnily enough, you never gave me a reason. You just privatized it, and I found out randomly one day.
Yeah, I was just unhappy with it.
And you never gave me a reason why, and I was just like, man, why is that? Oh, okay.
Well, I wanted to private basically all the old stuff, but the ranking ones were still doing well, and like to have the continuity of like we ranked Pokemon Gen 3, but not the 2 or 1.
Yeah.
Would be a little weird, so I just kept the first 2 up.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to bring up the Nintendo Direct reaction. That one's pretty shit.
It's bad.
Because it's just 42 minutes of us watching a Direct, and it's just like, it's not fun.
It was better in the short term. Like in my headspace, I was like, yeah, this could be really good. Because like I was hoping that like it would latch people on. It's like, oh, they reacted to the Nintendo Direct. I wonder what this random person's thought was on it.
Yeah, right.
Because sometimes I do that, and I was like, maybe some other people also think like that.
But we weren't good.
It wasn't good reaction.
It's so long, and then also there's just so much.
There's silence and nothingness. But like you can't cut out the silence because the silence is what's the direct.
Yeah, but and also there's a bunch of. It's like the old editing style too, so it's very unedited too.
Yeah.
If it were new, it would just be like the headliners that we would edit in.
Yeah. It wouldn't be like every title that was released.
Yeah. Because who cares? No. Was that the farming sim one?
Yes. Too? That was the one where everything was a fucking farming sim. And I thought that could have been a funny edit in itself if like we did like a splash edit or like an edit where it just says, it keeps saying like farming sim.
Yeah.
And it cuts to every single time they say farming sim.
No, I could get you.
Like that could have been cool.
Look at super reaction. Wow.
Did crazy particles. Yeah, so we just unprivated the old stuff. You can go and watch it now officially. It's there. And it proves we've been here for a year. So anyways.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the future of the channel. I'm kind of curious to see what will be out by the time this comes out. Because we're going to try. I did a double upload for the podcast this week just because we were like 4 behind or something like that.
Oh, are we still? Oh, wow.
We're still. I think we're only like 2 behind, maybe.
Okay, that's good.
Let's see. I'm trying to recall. We just uploaded what episode? 8, I think.
7 or 8.
It was 7, wasn't it?
Yeah, 7. Okay.
And if we look at the folder, we should still have. We have a few more, I'm sure.
Oh, geez.
Oh, we only have 8 left,
Okay.
and then this. So
Okay,
that's
good,
about
good,
how
good.
we want it. So yeah,
Perfect.
this will be like a week or 2 weeks after. I'll probably upload episode 7 this week, or no, 8 this week, and then
Yeah.
this one, which is 9, will be next week. So yeah, okay, fair. But yeah, so we just want to like get that stuff in order, and we're gonna start posting our
Yes.
small little Let's Play content. Just got to get to editing that shit. I'll probably edit some tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm focusing on the Doom video, which is taking forever. I hope it's out by
Yeah.
now. I hope it's good
I
and
hope
not
so, too.
horrible garbage. I've been having fun editing it though.
Well, that's
It's just
good.
it's just hard because every like second is like edited.
Oh, yeah. So
again,
it's just
Like for every
1 second, it takes like 30 minutes to get down.
for literally every hour I put into editing it, I get about half a minute done.
Oh, my gosh.
So I put a lot of time into it already, and I only have like fucking few minutes in. So I have a lot left to do.
Wow.
Which makes sense then for this to be a monthly thing.
Yeah.
For it to be once a month. And to be fair, I just started this like last week or the week before.
Mhm.
So, not much time is really had.
Yeah.
But once we get into the schedule of releasing every month a big video,
Yeah.
that'll be sick. Be a big kicker.
Yepers. And hopefully I'll take off like all of your
All the smaller content.
all the small content so you can just focus on doing one big project
Yeah.
and then I can post out. That's hopefully what we're going to get to eventually. We
Yeah.
aren't there yet, but we will.
I suppose if you want, so you could just go ahead and like whenever it's like today or tomorrow,
Yeah.
edit whatever it is I gave you before. And
Yeah.
then if you want, I could like come over or something and help you make it cleaner if you would like,
Finalize and okay.
and like go over it.
Okay.
And then just give you like some tips and stuff if you need.
Okay.
Or I guess you could render it out and I could give you tips, whatever.
I mean, considering I'm doing editing on a laptop, I could also just bring it over.
Oh, that's true. You could come over. Yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah.
I actually thought about bringing it over today, but I didn't think because I thought we were
yeah.
going to mostly be streaming. So I was like,
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll leave it here.
Yeah, so we're just gonna like optimize all that shit so that everything's pretty good, and we'll upload regularly enough. So it's kind of nice that we get to upload more regularly, which is both good for people who enjoy our content and want to see more from us, and then also for the algorithm, which likes it when we upload on a regular basis and not have weeks between uploads. Because it totally fucks your videos up if you upload them randomly.
Yeah.
So if you have like semi-regular stuff, it'll like boost them a lot more.
Yeah, which is what we want.
Yeah. So that'll help. And then also we have just a bunch of games we've been wanting to play on the channel for ages, but just couldn't find like a special way to play them. So just playing them casually is the best we got.
Yeah.
And even then we probably won't have like a ton of games. Like there'll be some like open world sort of stuff that we wouldn't be able to do
No.
just because it'd be like 100 episodes.
Yeah.
But we have like a list going right now that we're making that's of just like everything we need to play. We could probably record that either tonight or tomorrow night or whatever you want to do. We got Earthbound
Yeah.
that we're doing. We got I suppose it doesn't hurt to just talk about it. We have Earthbound. We're doing Ocarina.
Yeah.
We're picking up Ocarina of Time again, which is cool.
And we have a lot of backlog on that. So.
Oh yeah, we're like fucking 5 sessions behind. We uploaded 3 episodes like months ago, and with how slow the editing rate was, where it was like trying to optimize to use as much footage as possible,
Yeah.
we only used 1 session, and we have like 8 sessions left still to record down to edit down.
Yikes.
A lot of it's going to be a lot of like nothing, though, I guarantee. Just
I
because,
hope so.
Between the first session, we got the Dongo's Cavern about done, second dungeon, and at the latest session was session 8 or something like that.
Yes.
We got to the Water Temple, and we got that good bit done.
Yeah.
So that's like only a few dungeons really we've conquered, like 1, 2, 3 between it. So there's going to be a lot of empty space where it's us trying to figure out what to do and stuff. So
Yeah.
there'll be a lot to edit out. It should be good when it comes out. And if it's out by now, then I hope it's really good.
I hope you're enjoying it.
Whatever comes out this week, I hope it's epic.
If you haven't noticed, there's also something I kind of an elephant I'd like to bring up. Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like we have not talked about that in a good solid while.
We could.
And I just want to talk about that on the podcast here because a lot of people do watch our podcast. So here's where we're at with Tears of the Kingdom. Jasper has completed it. Completely, totally, 100%.
Yeah.
Not 100% like 100%, but like has finished it front to back.
All 4 dungeons and the final boss, yeah.
Yeah. And has even done a lot of optional things.
Yeah, I've gotten
in their
like
own free time.
good 60% of the shrines done, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Me has completed all of the main 4 dungeon temples.
Uh-huh.
And then I small spoiler, I did a little thing in the castle, and that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
We're at the point where it is almost painful to replay content that we've finished already and that like we know. And so we're trying to find a way to make it interesting because we don't want to just like fib our reaction, and I don't want to lie to you and be like, oh wow, I've never seen this before. This is crazy.
Yeah. And yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it was
it's just
cool to get
hard.
like our original reactions when
It would have
first
been
doing
cool
that.
when it was original, yeah. It's
But
been
because it's no longer
months.
blind,
Yeah.
it just feels really insincere to just like pretend to do it like a blind series.
Yeah.
So we're trying to look into actually like making it,
Yeah.
finding a way to maybe post like, I don't know.
It's just so hard because it's just very painful. And like, I'll be honest, like, I don't think I enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom as much as I did originally. It's a game that like I thought like initially I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like tried to copium it where it's like, oh, maybe I'm just not in the mood for the game. It's just not, the game's just not for me right now. I just got to give it some time. And I kind of realized I don't like it as much. Like I love Breath of the Wild a lot more. I don't know. There's just something about Tears of the Kingdom that frustrates me. And
Interesting.
it's,
Do you
to
know
me,
like what that is?
it's
or-
to me, one of the things I don't like is like the difference in atmosphere too. I
Oh.
like how empty Breath of the Wild is. I'm one of those people that I love the emptiness. I love how lonely
okay.
and somber it is.
That's
Fair. And I like the sort of vibe of you've been gone for 100 years and everything's in
Yeah.
ruins versus Tears of the Kingdom. The game's an
you
ADHD
don't.
nightmare.
Yeah.
There's shrines everywhere. There's stuff to do all over the place.
There's 3 whole places that you need to do.
Yeah.
2 that are the same size and 1 that's like whatever, but it's still another place that you have to explore and isn't like the easiest to get to, that being the Sky Islands.
Yeah.
So it's just so much to
And-
do, and it's really grindy too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Breath of the Wild it probably is just as grindy if I recall that right.
It's
But-
a little bit. We got away with a lot. Like we didn't really do that many shrines and stuff
Yeah.
before beating Ganon. We just like got the Master Sword and that was it.
Oh yeah.
We got away with it a lot.
Yeah.
And so the hard thing is that like the game, it's pretty good. I'm not going to say I hate it or anything. It's just not as good as when we first played it. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have the same energy to me
Well,
anymore. And it's hard because I want it to have the same energy.
It's not this wonder anymore. There's no wonder and
there's
like,
nothing
excitement
wonderful
and,
about it,
like,
yeah.
being like, whoa, what's gonna happen here? There's none of that to
Like-
propel us forward to continue the story.
Yeah.
And shrines are just boringly basic and like, you're washing and rinsing what you already have done before.
yeah.
And if you don't remember it, then you're just like figuring it out again.
And like,
And then
I'll be honest,
It's like
I'm,
okay, but
I'm not like the biggest fan of like the story dungeons and stuff. I thought they were okay, but like,
yeah.
the whole, the side part, you got to collect all the shit and then shoot the arrow and then you got to climb up for 15 years to get up. And
yeah, no.
or the desert where you have to run around in the dunes
Oh,
and move
yeah,
the
I
mirrors. And,
remember that.
like, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I really didn't enjoy that as
Well,
much.
I'd argue that
And-
if I ever did a replay of that, I'd find it so much more painful than when I was first doing
Yeah.
it. Because when you're first doing it, it's like a
It's-
official puzzle. It's something new to you.
Mhm.
You're like, what do I do here? oh, I think I understand this. And because it's new, it's easier to do, but
Doing it over again, it just feels like
doing it
fetch
over
questing.
again,
Yeah.
it's just like, man, just feels like it's content to extend the game out way more than it needs to be.
Yeah. It's
That's-
just hard
That's
to
what
enjoy.
it starts to feel like, at least, even if it isn't.
It's hard to, really enjoy that. And so we're at like a point where it wouldn't really make sense continuity wise to just be like, okay, we're going to go ahead and beat Ganondorf. But like,
No.
that's what we're almost at, because that's the only thing that Salem's never seen.
Yeah.
And that's like my favorite part of the game. So it's like,
So what do we do
it's
here?
painful.
It's like,
And it's hard too, because he's a really fucking hard boss. Like, he doesn't let you just take away shit for nothing. Especially for your first time beating him too. So like, we have to do some preparation.
yeah.
Like, unless we do the speedrunner strat and get some wild, like, crazy potions and stuff and get really hyped up and then do that. But because then, like, somehow there's like I think they use just like an attack up ×3 potion in the speedrun.
Oh.
And then they just like decimate the first phase in like
Oh, okay.
2 seconds.
Oh.
It's wild. And yeah, they get like some weird combination for their fuse. I don't know. It's weird.
All right.
But I don't know. It's just hard because it's at like a standstill, because I don't think either of us really want to do all that shit over again. It's
No.
not really fun to have to walk all the way there. And I think that's unfortunately like the nature of the game too, is especially for recording stuff. It just feels kind of painful to go through. And that's kind of how Breath of the Wild was too. We tried to make Breath of the Wild series like 3 or
interesting as
4
we could.
times. And each time it was like doing the Great Plateau was painful because we'd done it.
Half the time, it was also you doing it
Uh-huh.
again and again and again. And I
Yeah.
think that was just fucking wearing on you.
Yeah.
So by like the 5th time we started recording this,
Mm-hmm.
like, sure, like when we dicked off and had fun, it was cool. But then we realized like we didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, right?
And that like we're just like, it's almost like a waste of time to like post that, because there was no story progress made to get towards Ganondorf more.
Yeah.
So it was this thing where it was just like every time we recorded, we'd finish it, we'd start editing, we wouldn't be happy with it, we'd ditch it.
Yeah. The only idea I think I have for Tears of the Kingdom is we could go ahead, edit down, and upload what we have, and
Yeah.
let people catch up on our continuity.
Yeah.
Then we just stream pretty much the rest of the game. Because I feel like I could enjoy it a lot more if we're just hanging
If
out
we're
with
streaming,
chat and
yeah.
vibing versus, having to do everything and
Maybe
then edit
we'll-
it down.
We'll do that. I think that might be the best way
I
to
just
do
prefer
it.
that sort of vibe, probably.
Yeah, let's try that.
Because that's almost like how, like, when I play the game, like when I've been
And
grinding off screen, I just have like podcasts on. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get bored.
And also, we can like switch off controls too if we like
Yeah.
don't feel like repeating stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
feel
just,
like I haven't played it long enough that I could totally go for it again, and like it feels semi new to me.
yeah. Yeah. I suppose so. We're just gonna have to like force ourselves to do it, and that's hard when it's like that.
Yeah.
And we don't want to just like ditch it all outright. Like that's kind of sucks, but
No, I don't want to just throw it in the water and just never.
it's
Which
just hard.
Once again,
yeah.
why I wanted to bring it up here, but
Yeah, it's just a weird, sticky
it's
situation.
a weird situation. So I wanted to tell everybody what that's all about, and
So that's kind of why that's at a standstill
so
and
yeah,
not prioritized.
that's why we haven't ever done that for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wish I enjoyed the game more. And I kind of get the feeling that
Yeah.
maybe in a year or two I could get like a new light to it. But
Yeah.
it's hard because it's the same situation when people like got to Breath of the Wild and were used to old Zelda, where it's basically an entirely new game.
Yeah.
The vibe and the way we play it is very different. And it's hard to get used to that because I loved Breath of the Wild. I liked how lonely and empty it was. And it felt like you're all on your own. And there wasn't like too much to do, but it was kind of nice because it let you stop and breathe in the environment every now and
Yeah.
again. And it feels like Tears of the Kingdom is almost like a chokehold where you can't just stop and do anything without seeing, oh, there's a Korok that I have to move. There's another shrine. There's a dude holding a sign. There's a lot of shit
Which
to
once
do.
again is terrible for people with ADHD.
I hate it. It's horrible
Is
to-
absolutely painful.
to like have that. I'm sure for a normal person, maybe
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
it's great.
Maybe they can
but
streamline it.
When you're
and
like
just be
fucking
good, but-
ADHD and you see like 15 things to do, what is my brain going to do other than meltdown? Like maybe that's why I don't enjoy it. It's just I'm constantly melding down with how much there is to do.
Yeah.
And
also, I would like to say that we tried doing a recording session, and we were trying to do the water temple.
it just didn't.
And I think the main problem is that we were mostly trying to just beat the water temple, and we weren't just like playing it for that fun aesthetic.
Yeah. Like it's hard,
That
right?
made, like
Yeah.
all of our other playthroughs like really fun. I don't know. Like I don't go into Ocarina going, oh, we got to do this, we got to beat this. I'm just like, hey, let's just have fun with this. Let's just like keep moving.
Yeah.
But with an especially non-linear game such as Tears of the Kingdom, it almost feels sacrilege to just only do everything that needs to be done to beat the game.
Yeah, and it's just
Without,
hard
like,
doing like an open world title in general for stuff. And that was the issue we had originally with Breath of the Wild, why we had to keep canceling series, is that we distracted. And so I had to literally create a map for us to follow, for us to not get off track.
Yeah.
And it worked really well. But now with there being 3 layers and a lot more to do, it's kind of hard to do that. But maybe it would be better if we do make a map and like realize that this isn't just random. We're making like progress.
You know what? That would be a good idea.
I'll see if they have like a map for that where you can make a route.
I know they have an interactive map.
Because the routing map for Breath of the Wild is such a godsend when you're making like a series. It was perfect.
Because if you were ever getting off topic, you can just like look at it and be like,
and just follow it. Yeah. And it would literally show like everything we do, everywhere we walk. And then it's like, oh, there's 5 shrines in this location. Do these 5 shrines and then move on. Yeah. And it was so good. And it was like hard to get like confused or anything.
Yeah. Like, yeah, sure. Like sometimes we dick off and like we feel free to like go out of bounds for like a little bit and just like have fun with the game.
I almost wonder then is if like that's sort of why it's so painful to play right now. Is it's just that we're not being concise about like what we want to do and like staying on topic. And like when you're not recording, there's no pressure to get a ton done or anything. And it's very relaxing to just play and like fly around the Skylands. I think
which was awesome about streaming it too.
Yeah.
Is that it didn't feel like we were doing a recording session. We were having chat participate in every action we did.
And that's probably what we'll do then, I'm thinking. Because I won't mind playing it on my own, just like the little vibe of flying around. It's just that I've been playing it on the video is just there's like a pressure almost. And
there is a weird pressure that I completely agree with that.
It makes it very unenjoyable.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate because we wanted to like really have a fun playthrough and stuff. But we'll just I think that's what we'll do. We'll just start a stream at some point, playing it again. We'll try it. Yeah. So that sounds like a good plan. You just witnessed like an Axtronautl brainstorming session.
Yeah. That's how they happen.
It's just chit-chatting and then there's an idea.
Yeah, it's a lot of talking about what the problem is to try to find a solution.
I feel like that's just reality in general.
Yeah. No, you're right, but like
especially like mental stuff where it's like a lot of times mental issues just feel like a nagging. And it's hard to be like, what the fuck is the issue? And then you just dig and you're like, okay, these are my problems. This is how I fix it.
Sometimes it's harder with mental problems though, because you're always like, oh yeah, I know like what the problem is, but I don't know why the problem is there.
Yeah.
Like I know logically I shouldn't think this way, but I do think this way, and I don't know why.
That's the thing I've kind of been proud of and like really happy to is that like totally throughout high school, my brain was like fucked because I would just do that where it's like, oh, I don't feel great today. I don't know why, but I guess I won't do my homework because my brain doesn't feel good. So whatever, I'll just take off. And then I just ate ass in class. And it was terrible because I didn't get stuff done and I failed a lot. But like over time, I feel like especially in college, just like realizing if you just think about like kind of what your brain's doing, analyze your thought patterns and kind of get used to what your brain is. And like you can see like patterns of, okay, I'm starting to go on this trail that I know will lead me to being upset over something stupid or being overly anxious about this thing.
Yeah.
And like starting to recognize those patterns and cutting them off before they start. I think it's like a really helpful way is just reading your thought patterns and just thinking about what you're thinking. It's so easy to think autonomously. You know, your brain just thinks,
Yeah.
and you don't really put any thought into it. Like, I feel like it's really important to just think about what you're thinking and kind of have some good control there too.
No, yeah. That's fair.
God, we just fucking trailed off into a mental discussion again.
That's all right.
But yeah, we did see your comment, Solitaire. Solitaire left a comment a couple videos or a couple podcasts ago.
Oh,
that was,
yeah.
We had like a mental health discussion or something. It was like, I think the last one.
Yes, it was exactly the last one.
And like, it was like funny because the podcast was at the beginning the most insane shit ever. We couldn't focus on anything and we didn't have a proper topic.
Yeah.
And then just suddenly we went really sober and started just getting really deep. It was so weird. But we like talked about mental health and stuff and like how it's okay to be not feeling good at times, and it's okay to not know what your brain's doing and to be quote unquote mentally ill. And like apparently it resonated with some people that feel similar issues and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That their YouTuber that they're a fan of is preaching a good word of mental health.
That's what we're all about, I guess.
I guess so. God.
I don't know. It's you gotta have a comfy vibes and understanding that sometimes shit happens.
Yeah.
And just knowing that it's okay that shit happens because it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
And that everybody can eventually overcome the shit that happens that is bad shit.
Okay, none of it's like eternal.
Yeah.
You can find your way out somehow.
Always.
So, I think it's kind of funny that we have like it
was very, very deep.
Interesting dichotomy between our crazy part of our content and then our really deep stuff. And I kind of like that. Like, I like us getting deep from time to time because it feels like it's just interesting. I don't know.
I like getting deep in conversation. It's fun.
That's probably part of being introverts too. Is that it's just fun to talk about in-depth stuff. Because we could sit here and talk all day about, the channel is doing great.
Yeah.
Oh, my life's going great, whatever, and small talky type shit. But it's like so much more interesting, at least to us. At least to me, at least. It's so interesting how the brain works and, it's crazy. This just getting really in-depth.
Talking about like topical things like shit happening with companies or like recent events of I don't know, like something that happens with people or
Yeah, I forgot. I was going to mention the Unity shit on here actually.
Oh yeah.
Was that recently there's a big old blowover of shit happening at Unity. If you don't know Unity is a popular game engine for making games. So it's just a way you can make a game.
And a lot of indie developers use it to make games.
It's really convenient and it removes a lot of work.
Yes.
For like really complicated work that would take forever to do, or a lot of knowledge. Anyhow, it's very popular, and I think they estimate that it's like 40 to 50% of the entire gaming industry uses Unity.
Oh man.
Just because especially it's really popular for mobile games. It's really good for mobile games, and then it's really popular for VR too.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was even just looking on my Steam profile. I have like 150 games or something, and I was just going through, and I'm like, "Yep, that's a Unity game. That's a Unity. That's it."
Wow.
And there's just so many, and it's crazy because even like AAA-ish type stuff that you wouldn't expect is Unity. Like if you ever know, Call of Duty.
Yeah.
They have a mobile version, and their Call of Duty mobile is made in Unity. Which is like it's crazy.
Hoyoverse. With Genshin.
Yeah.
Unity.
So like it would be the worst thing ever if Unity would become unstable or an unhealthy place for developers to put their games. And that's kind of what might happen January 1st next year.
Yep.
So what they announced recently is a new pricing change where if you meet a certain threshold on your games, you will be charged for every install on the game. For people who aren't paying for a subscription to Unity or are paying for the very default like small subscription, you will be paying 20 cents per install. And previously they started out with saying any install. Now they've said apparently that they were going to try and do
like fraud detection,
fraudulent stuff,
Yeah.
which is hard to believe when they're coming and being very untrustful already. Just to say, oh, we'll get it, man. We won't worry about any of the fraud, even though it's not even in their best interest. Like if they left it so that people would have to pay for fraud stuff, that would make them more money. And so it's just shitty because it's a lot of money coming out of people's pockets to pay for games.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people have done the numbers, and they're even like indie studios, ones that are actual full-fledged companies, would get totally fucked by this.
Yeah.
Just because, especially a lot of titles put a lot of their income through in-app purchasing and ads and stuff, and especially mobile games. If you make a mobile game and you just barely make enough money and get enough of those downloads to meet the threshold, then you're fucked.
Yeah, because your downloads are free, and you keep getting those downloads, so you getting fined. Like you're not making enough to actually sustain the fee that is getting cost. Because it's per download, not per purchase. Download.
Yeah.
And that's the part that's fucky wucky.
Apparently, they're gonna say that it's gonna figure out some way where it'll only do like for the first download. Again, I don't know how they would do that. They didn't mention shit about how they would do for first download, and it's hard to believe they would do that because again, not in their best interest. Something people have theorized is maybe it's like an IP thing, so per IP address maybe, or maybe it's like per motherboard, like somehow it reads your device information and sees that, oh, this is already in the system. So I don't know. And maybe they won't even do it in the first place. That's hard to believe.
But even if they get IP, you can download it on a different device.
Yeah.
So there's another thing.
And one of the main issues that people came up with is that if you really hate a developer, you could just uninstall and reinstall games over and over and over and over again. And that's so shitty because like you could just totally ruin somebody. And again, that's why they're like, oh, we'll make it so it's only the first download. And something people theorize is like if you just like switch out certain parts in your PC or you use like a VPN or something, you'll be able to do it again. And it's so lame. Yeah. It's shitty. It's not the right move from them.
No,
because this stems from years of issues at Unity. So apparently the past 3 years, they haven't had a single quarter in any year that has made them money. They've been losing money. They've been bleeding for 3 years. So they're already a dying company. So this is basically a last-ditch effort where it's like, all right, we need money. Let's figure this out. So it's just shitty because it's a popular game engine. It's really useful. And they're basically just going to send themselves into the ground. Because everybody, as far as I can tell, there's tweets going out every company and stuff being like, all right, we're just going to pull our game from Steam or we're going to make it in Unreal or whatever. A lot of people are already doing that.
Yeah, they're switching engines. And
like it was crazy how fast it happened. Like not long after that statement came out, like Cult of the Lamb made a statement being like, all right, we're moving our game from the Steam store January 1st. So
yeah,
it's crazy.
And some people are even moving just out of principle, like not because it would actually affect their company. Like there's a lot of people that are like, this actually really wouldn't affect it and it wouldn't put a dent in our revenue.
Yeah.
But because they show that they can do this and that they're greedy enough to do this, we can't put enough trust in Unity to just fully support them like this without risking our business and our investment into Unity as a game engine.
Yeah, it's and like personally, I want to start learning Unreal because we were doing like game engine stuff in Unity, and now I'm going to start doing Unreal just because like I don't want to be in with that. You know, it's hard to trust them anymore.
It is very hard to trust them.
And Unreal is just a little bit more stable to rely on, at least as far as we know.
As far as I've seen too,
it's just crazy. It's just a huge dent in the gaming world in general.
Affecting it affects a lot of things.
Any console, anything.
Yeah. Including a special little indie studio. Don't know if you've heard of them, Team Cherry.
Oh yeah. The whole shit where it's been how many years since you've been waiting for fucking Silk Song, Hollow Knight Silk Song? 5-year wait.
About 4 or 5 years now it's been. Which is pretty understandable for an indie game studio already. But now, this is going to be a huge setback for them. Absolutely destroyingly huge.
Yeah.
And I'm scared to know what their next move is going to be in this, because they haven't even been that public about a lot of the developments. Apparently they've spoken for the longest time that the game has been finished, but they're just doing a lot of like cleanup and are testing and such.
Oh, a la Tears of the Kingdom type
It
shit.
sounds a
where
lot
it's-
like that.
It's done, but they just got to polish and make sure everything's clean.
That's at least how some people put out, but Team Cherry doesn't usually directly talk to the fan base, even with a quick tweet or anything. It's very far and in between, so I'm horrified for what Team Cherry's next move is gonna do, because
Yeah. It could be rough.
it can be very rough. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it sucks because a lot of games are like that too, where it's just people waiting for a sequel or something, and bam, fucked.
absolutely.
It's super rough, and nobody wanted this, and fuck you, Unity, and especially fuck the CEO.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, dude's just a total asshole. For
Didn't
context,
he, like, put stocks out and
yeah, so he did what's called insider trading, where he sold a great number of stocks, and he, not only just him, but a lot of people in the company too,
Yeah.
sold a bunch of stocks, knowing that they were about to make this big move that wasn't going to be good. And so now the stock prices are going way down, your stocks are worth less, and that makes them money. So it's very illegal, very shitty, very shady. And it doesn't reflect good on the people behind Unity.
nope.
And yeah, that apparently the CEO has just been an asshole forever. And it makes a sense. Apparently, he used to be at EA, so it kind of makes sense.
Well,
It's surprising.
no fucking wonder.
Surprising he no longer works at EA. You'd think he'd fit right in.
Yeah.
Apparently, there was like a discussion he had back in like 2011 where he was talking about ways to monetize your game and why monetizing your game is very, very important. And one thing he brought up was if you're in a long play session and you're going through and you're shooting a bunch of dudes and we ask you to pay $1 to refill your clip, then you're in a position where you are very likely to just take it. You're in a very vulnerable position. Because it's like, oh, it's just, I mean, it's something small. It's so small and stupid to do that. Where it's
Yeah.
just refilling a mag, really? Like, that takes 2 seconds, and it's something every game has for free.
Yeah.
But it's just a way to exploit a vulnerability, quote unquote, in the player base. And
Which
he was
is
recommending
just-
people do that.
So sketchy.
Yeah.
And
It's,
so fucking.
it's
That's just fucky wucky. That's
very
the
scummy.
definition.
and again, doesn't reflect good.
No.
So we're in a position now where even if Unity goes, oh shit, we fucked up, we're not going to implement this stuff. Sorry, guys. It's hard to trust them now because
Yeah,
they've
'cause
shown how scummy they are.
untrustworthy,
And
and they can really be. And
again,
what one rule that they can change can just do to an entire company.
well, what's that saying? Trust can take years to build,
Yes.
seconds to lose, and
Yes.
forever to reconstruct.
Yep.
And that's very obvious here. And it's going to be hard for them to get everybody back on them now
Yeah.
after this. And again, playing devil's advocate, you can see why they would want to make something like this. Because again, the company was going down the drain and they
Oh,
wanted to
yeah.
find some way to monetize somehow. But this was not the way.
No, this is anything but the way.
And the thing people brought up is that just the way Unity is with how free and laissez-faire it is, it just wasn't a good idea in the first place to have it be so free for them. Because
Yeah.
they have people to pay and stuff.
Yeah.
So having the company go down the drain isn't great. They should have made it like a little bit more monetized in the first place. I believe Unreal has like a flat rate where it's just like you release a game and they just take a certain portion
Yes.
of the income.
Yeah. They get
like, they don't
a share of your revenue.
Yeah.
It's
And it's
5% or 10.
yeah.
I
It's not
believe.
like incredible.
No, it's not.
Like, it's not Apple's fucking 30%
No.
of revenue. It's something a little bit minuscule, but it makes them money and keeps them afloat. And then of course it helps that they also have like Fortnite and shit on their back.
Oh, yeah.
Where it's like, okay, well, even if Unreal's not doing great, Fortnite's always gonna make the money.
Yeah.
and having like a lot of big titles be Unreal as well.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
No, a huge amount of titles actually.
Yeah. So it's very
Yeah.
it's just a better way to do the structure, and it's not going to guarantee them doom, because again, yeah, Unity just didn't have a good pricing structure, and it fucked them over.
No, yeah.
This wasn't the way to fix things, and it looks like the company is just going to be going down the drain permanently now if they don't do something seriously good.
I'll be surprised if I still see them next year.
Yeah.
Around, like,
And I hope that all the devs affected by this can really get off scot-free.
I hope so.
Because again, a lot of devs, you're an indie dev or a small indie studio,
Yeah.
you have people to pay, or you have to get paid, and
Yes.
having like your huge portion of your paycheck taken out, it means that, oh shit, I might not be able to buy food tonight. I may not be able to afford nicer things and have a happy life, and it's so scummy and shitty
Yeah.
that it has to be like this, or would have to be. We'll see what happens. I would love it if it's just like, oh, we roll it back, and then some people just stick with it because that's the best they can do.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy to port a game over.
No.
Even if you have all the assets already made, you have to. I believe it's a whole different.
Well, yeah,
it's in
'cause,
C++.
like-
It's a
Yeah, I
whole
was about
different.
to say, if you're switching to Unreal, that's
You
a
can't
different
just-
coding language.
and
Right there.
they both have their own like integrations and
Yep.
stuff that are like Unity specific and Unreal specific, so it's not like a lot of the stuff you can just carry over. A lot of it's unique to the software, and you'd have to
Yeah.
find workarounds, and so it could take a long time for a lot of these companies to switch over.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there will be plenty that will just like abandon their game and work on whatever's new, because that's the best they can do.
I don't know. From Adam C. Eunice, who's on YouTube, he's been making his games for over 6 years now or so on Unity, and he's gotten a lot of work done on it. And he said that he might just finish it and post it, but then he's moving engines. He does not see himself sticking with Unity.
Yeah, that's probably
But
for the
because
best.
he's put so much work into this game, he just can't see himself porting or anything.
Yeah, it's
It's in a
rough.
sticky situation, so it was sad to see.
Yeah, it's just rough in all ways. And it's just an interesting topic right now.
Yeah.
And like everybody's talking about it. It's gone mainstream,
Oh, yeah, it's
dude.
very mainstream.
So it sucks. It's not great, and fuck Unity.
Thank you all for joining.
Thanks everybody for watching or listening to this episode of the Spaced Out Podcast.
If you fucking hate greedy CEOs, comment. I don't know. Comment something in the chat about it.
If you'd like to hear us on iTunes or Apple Music or on Spotify, like and subscribe. Maybe one day we'll port the Spaced Out Podcast there, or maybe we won't. I don't know.
We'll see.
That's an idea, but that's about all
Shower thoughts.
we have for this episode of the Spaced Out Podcast. We will see you later.
Bye bye.